Hey guys, we're currently waiting for people to join the live, but we're going to talk a bit about our IVF journey. So if you miss anything, just watch the video back because we'll repost it.
Since we have started forgot the words.
Beep. It's alright, it's just live.
We can't cut it.
Cut. Start again.
Since we've been sharing our IVF journey, we've had a lot of new followers and a lot of people who don't actually know how we've got to the place we are. So we thought we'd do some questions and answers and share some of our journey with you.
So we'll start what we actually done for our journey. We decided to go with reciprocal IVF. So the way that is we decided.
Got an R in there. Reciprocal.
Oh, there she's correcting me.
I was just helping you
Beep.
before you keep saying
Cut it again. Beep, beep. Reciprocal IVF, darling. That's the way we done it. And we decided our best option was for Abs to carry my egg. Abs suffers with endometriosis and polycystic ovaries, which during the injections and stuff
and egg retrieval process, there is a high chance I would go into OHSS, which is overstimulation, which can be very painful. So we decided that was not the option for us. I obviously have two children, Gianna, who's 9, and Kai, who is 7, from a previous relationship. So I've already got 2 biological children, but Cole unfortunately didn't have any yet. So
this way I've got a biological child as well. Not that that matters. I absolutely, if you know us well enough, you'll know I absolutely dote on Gianna and Kai and I love them to bits and they'll always be my own. However, it would be nice to see a bit of resemblance. Strangely enough, the kids look more like me anyways.
Gianna and Kai just look like Cole. So this baby better come out looking like my absolute twin.
It totally is going to. Nah, it's not. It's going to be my absolute double. I can tell.
But again, here, a lot of people have asked us, how can the baby possibly look like Abby if it's not going to be biologically mine? Because when you choose, for us, everybody chooses their sperm donors completely different. We went completely private through a clinic. We don't know who he is. He doesn't know who we are, but we have 49 pages of his whole family's history, all of his characteristics, his job, everything. And he's literally a male version of me. He is Abby with a penis.
So if you've got any questions, guys, we are here to answer them. We'll be live for about 10 minutes on here, just to do a bit of question and answers around IVF, because we've shared a lot of our journey on Facebook. You know, we mainly go live on TikTok, so we thought we would jump on here for a quick live. It will be posted, so if you've missed any of the start, you can re-watch it on our page.
My sickness has definitely started to settle. My sickness at the start was horrific. I had never suffered so badly with Gianna and Kai. So far, definitely my worst pregnancy, early on anyway. My sickness has started to settle, although I'm still very sick if I go in the car at all. So it's still coming in waves, but not as bad as what they are. A lot of people think Gianna and Kai are biologically Coles because they look so much like Cole, not me.
The little ones still have a relationship with their dad. Yep, they've got a great relationship with their dad. They're currently at their dad's for a week in the summer holidays just now. So yeah, they've got 2 loving families.
They are so lucky. They've got a great relationship with him and all of his family and an amazing life at ours with all of our family. So it's great. Whatever makes the kids happy makes me happy.
Hi, a wee question. I went through IVF with my now ex. We have an almost 10-year-old. Did you also have to go through like a therapist to talk about the whole biological thing, how you would feel about it all?
So I'd actually like to answer this one. We didn't. When you go through NHS, you do have to go through therapy to a certain degree to make sure you're both mentally and physically prepared for the road ahead. When you go privately, or certainly at the clinic we went to, which is GCRM in Glasgow, we didn't have to go through any psychological assessments at all. Now, this is something me and Cole spoke in depth with. And we, doing social media, we've had every single comment you can ever imagine thrown at us. And do you know what? None of it really hurts me. But I did get a comment the other day from a lady who was actually pregnant with her husband that really threw me off, and I was really, really shocked. So I was told the other day, excuse me, that she thought it was disgusting that I was the one. So on our baby's birth certificate, I will be named birth mother.
Designated parent.
And Cole will be registered designated parent because we are married. And this lady proceeded to tell me she thought it was disgusting that I was announced birth mother when the child wouldn't actually biologically be mine. She says, basically, you're a surrogate for Cole's baby. Your baby's got nothing to do with you. I wouldn't have somebody random be known as birth mother to my child. I'm giving birth and it's got my DNA. Hello, I'm giving birth to our child. It will be my child regardless. DNA isn't everything. But it did throw me off, and it did upset me that people actually have that mentality that they don't think I'm worthy of being this child's mother because it won't have my DNA. I'm carrying our child. I'm making our child.
Does the donor have any rights? The donor has no rights. We chose a closed donor, so we'll not know. We don't know anything about them. They don't know anything about us. If a major emergency happened where medically he had to be reached out to, then that would be done not via us again. Other than that, there's no contact whatsoever. He'll get to know whether...
If he wants to know.
If he wants to know that we were successful with a boy or a girl, that's as much information as they get.
Yep. So he can literally decide at one point in his life if he wants to find out if there have been any live births from his sperm donations, and all they will tell him is yes or no, and say, yes, we have a baby boy. All he'll be told is, yes, there's been a sperm donation from you and it has created a birth in a little boy. And that is all he will ever find out.
If you've missed the start, guys, don't worry. This will be posted on our page and you can catch up for there. Right now, we're answering any questions to do with IVF. We don't usually go live on here. It's usually on TikTok, but we've grown a following on Facebook as well, so we thought we would touch in and have a little chat.
We've got a lot of new followers on Facebook over the past month or so. A lot haven't seen the start of our journey, so we thought we would just share some of our knowledge.
I have my egg collection on Friday. Do you have any tips? Well, it was me that done the egg collection.
Thank you, Beth.
Honestly, I was absolutely petrified. I thought it was going to be sore. I thought it was going to be scary. When I say I'm petrified of needles, I really am. But it was one of the easiest medical side of things I've ever done. You're literally in and out in a flash.
You'd probably take that over getting your bloods done.
Yeah, I'd probably take that again over getting my bloods done. You're in there, they put you to sleep like that, you're back out, and then, yeah.
I swear, they literally wheeled Cole away from me. So if you have a partner, you will literally be wheeled away. Your partner will literally sit on the chair, open their phone, and you will be back in the room. It's like some kind of witchery. I was literally like, you're bringing her back so soon? Thought I was getting 10 minutes pace. It is so quick.
Some people have not a clue. You will be great parents. Well, we're already parents to 2 kids just now. And yeah, we've got a family unit, a strong family unit.
Thank you, Martine.
Our child will not be treated any different to Gianna and Kai. But yeah, you're always going to get people that give you this though, aren't you?
Do you know how old the man is and stuff? Nope, we don't have the age of the donor.
You've not got the age.
Nope, it doesn't tell us the age of the donor. What we do know is he's a bodybuilder and a musician.
Where do the other eggs get kept? So our spare eggs just now are in the freezer. You just never know what happens during pregnancies. Fingers crossed, everything's going to be amazing. But again, you don't know. They're there in case we do need to use them. There's only 2.
Yep, we've got 2 frozen blastocysts.
2 frozen blastocysts. So if all goes well and we have a baby in a few years, we decide that's it, we can donate them to science.
For us, this is our last pregnancy. We don't want any more children after this. I would happily have a hysterectomy after this pregnancy, to be honest, because I do have polycystic ovaries and endometriosis. I suffer on a daily from them both. A lot of women get a lot of relief during pregnancy from their endometriosis. Unfortunately, that doesn't really happen for me. Obviously, other than the period side, I don't get periods, but I still get a lot of pain. But every single person is different. Everybody's journey is so different. If the sperm donor wanted to meet the child later on in life, could he, or the child wanted to find him, could the child? So, no, he's legally, absolutely, he's literally...
He's a donor.
He's a donor. The way I try and describe it is if I needed a lung transplant, I would be put on the waiting list and I would get a donor lung. I would never know where that donor lung came from. They would then not be my biological family just because I have their lung in me, so to speak. They really are a donor. When these people go in to become sperm donors, they choose whether they want to be an open donor or a closed donor. Our donor has specifically, they are a closed donor, which is what we were looking for, was a closed donor. We didn't want an open donor. The one nice thing we do have, and it'll be kept for our child for when they're older if they want to read it, many donors will write a little paragraph or even a sentence. Some will write a full A4 page
of why they wanted to be a donor.
Why they wanted to be a donor. Our specific donor wanted to become a donor because his sister was infertile and he watched her struggle through IVF, and he didn't want to see another couple go through that if he was able to help. So that's the reason for him becoming a sperm donor. So he's wrote that in a little piece of paper, and all it says basically to our child, I hope you have the best future and I wish you all the best in your life.
We will find out the gender in
3 weeks.
3 weeks, but we'll not know until about 3.5 weeks. We're giving the slip to my sister, so she'll know, but we won't until the gender reveal. We're going to try and have a really, really fun, quirky gender reveal. Fingers crossed. I had another question there and I've lost it. Does the negativity get you down? Right, let's talk about social media in general. We wanted to share our journey on here because there is loads of couples that have went through IVF already. We wanted to show every step of our IVF journey so we could educate others on how to female have a baby, show people what's to come next every step of the way. So that's why we wanted to do it.
We've also found as well, by sharing our journey, we've educated not only adults but a lot of children.
Yeah.
The respect we've gained from a lot of children who are now not only looking up to us but actually grateful to know what IVF is, whether that be for a same-sex couple or a male and female, or two males. I don't think it's spoke about enough, and I think actually since we've opened up about our IVF journey, we've been so shocked at the amount of people we've known for years who have then said to us, actually, we've never told anybody, but our son or our daughter was conceived through IVF, but for some reason they felt ashamed to admit they were having fertility struggles. Like, it shouldn't happen in a male-female relationship, and that's a hard thing. I've also been there in a female-male relationship having fertility struggles. I was just going for IVF, believe it or not, when I fell pregnant with Gianna and Kai, naturally. I did unfortunately have 3 miscarriages and an ectopic, so I am very open about that as well. I feel like couples, anybody shouldn't suffer in silence with stuff like this. A lot of people want to keep it private, and I 100% understand that completely. But for me, when I was going through my miscarriages, had I not told my family, my close family already that I was pregnant, I probably would have been less inclined to tell them that I was going through a miscarriage and struggled myself. But actually, because they already knew, I could speak to them about it.
Will we let the IVF clinic know when little Casper comes? 100%. I can't wait for that proud moment to walk into the clinic. And
They asked us, they were like, are you going to bring baby to see us? I was like, yes.
Because we were unsure, because it's one of them catch-22 things, because obviously you want to make sure there's no one in the clinic that it's...
But you actually book an appointment at our clinic and they let you go in.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the first ever, I'll have to say, family planning clinics or IVF clinics that I've actually been to that is not surrounded in baby photos, scan photos.
Not just success.
You don't, even at our appointments, they are so conscious of people coming for their next appointment. So it's very rare that you even bump into other people, which I felt was amazing, because there's times when you could be going there and walking out your clinic room having just got the best news ever, yet there's a woman standing in front of you who's just been given the worst news. And that is a really hard place to put anybody in. I was put in that situation when I had an ectopic pregnancy. I was taken up to a ward that had two ladies who unfortunately didn't want their pregnancy to continue, and they were choosing not to continue with their pregnancy, and they were very open, rudely will I say, in that moment. And I had another elderly lady next to me who was going through a hysterectomy, and I was told in the same room as these people that I was then going down to the cancer unit to effectively help get rid of my ectopic pregnancy, while two other females were shouting about getting rid. And that's not me saying that, that was their words, and that was really hard to deal with. So the fact that our clinics even thought about stuff like this is really good, really good.
How much does IVF cost? It's a really hard one to answer, because everybody's journey is completely different. There's so many different options. We done reciprocal IVF, there's IUI, there's
ICSI, which is even more expensive
male
than
and
IVF.
female. Like obviously we done two females, it's going to be more expensive because it's both of our bodies.
And we had to pay for
going
sperm.
Through treatment.
The sperm is really expensive. You're
It's
talking
one of the biggest expensive
£3,000
parts
to
of it all.
£4,000 for 3 straws, which is potentially 3 shots at IVF. The ballpark of financially is massive. For advice, what I will say to anybody who would like to look at IVF and find out financially, because we really struggled to get anywhere with any of it. When you decide on a clinic, a lot of them will give you package prices, a package deal. But what you need to ask is, if you're going forward with this package deal, does this package deal include your medication, your blood tests, any further scans you may need? Does this include if you needed a donor egg or sperm donation? There's a lot of things to consider. Our one try was just under £12,500, but our package deal was just under £6,000. So somebody could actually go onto a clinic's thing and read, oh, 6,000, that's not bad. To be honest, we probably would have thought of that. And then you've got to pay for your medication on top, which is separate. There are a lot of clinics though that do price packages where you can pay monthly. So it's always worth looking at if your clinic do offer that option. But our clinic was definitely amazing. I would completely recommend it. That's GCRM in Glasgow. They really were incredible.
Yeah, I definitely recommend GCRM as well. the only thing that I found, the only fault that I found is lack of communication when it came to some parts.
But what
You
I've actually
expected
found, being
more
on a lot of
communication.
IVF support groups, a lot of the clinics seem to be the same.
Yeah.
So a lot of people ask us certain questions about why are you taking that medication and why are you doing that injection on that day. We weren't told any of it.
You don't know, unless you search it on Google yourself,
literally,
they didn't tell you.
All
so.
the knowledge we found out was from us doing our own research through the good old Google. So yeah, Google the hell out of it. We literally Googled everything. A lot of people also ask about going through IVF through the NHS. This seems to be a postcode lottery, whether they let you go through NHS or not. We were actually accepted through the NHS, but unfortunately, due to COVID, their wait time went from about 5 to 6 months to near 18 months wait. We both have fertility issues. Cole has a really low AMH, which is a low egg reserve, and I've got polycystic ovaries and endometriosis stage 4. So time isn't on our side when it comes to starting our IVF. So it kind of took that option away from us. So we felt we had no other choice but to go private. We were very lucky. We worked so hard to save up and borrowed and paid back. But not everybody's in that position. Yeah, it's a hard one.
It's really difficult. We're not as lucky to have, I've got £12,000 in my back pocket. It's not as easy as that. Sometimes, well, I compared it to the start, you would spend that money on going into a showroom and you lose 12 grand on your car straight away. And a baby's forever. It's going to complete our family, so it was well worth it for us. Some of the clinics do offer financial help. We didn't realise our clinic offered finance, so
we probably would have went with the finance package, but we didn't know they did it at the time.
We basically had finance with my parents. They lent us at each stage, and we paid them it back each month. So it's basically the same thing anyways, but yeah, I'd look into
finance packages. Even when people say to us, how could you pay so much? Yeah, people go and finance a 30 grand car and don't even think twice about it. So you cannot put a price on a baby. You really, really can't. And I'm just going to take a minute to say, anybody who is going through fertility or struggles or losses, I send so much love to you, so much baby dust, and I really hope you get your little rainbow soon.
Yeah.
And I hope, if anything, us sharing our journey gives some that little bit of hope.
We didn't
that
know.
At times I lost majorly going through fertility, so I completely understand it.
We actually had people comment. There was a few people in the town, and Marcus was out in the town, and someone made the comment of, like, who do they think they are sharing their journey? It was different if it was unsuccessful, because if it was unsuccessful, it would help other people. We didn't know which way our journey was going to go. We wanted to share our journey regardless.
We said we'd
whatever
be
the
truthful
roller
from the
coaster
start.
was.
So
we were truthful from the start. Never in our wildest dreams did we expect for it to happen first time. But if anything, I hope that it gives people the hope that it can happen. Like Abs has said a few times now, she's got endometriosis, polycystic ovaries. I've got a low AMH level. Even with all the odds against you, it can still happen. So if it not happen first time, root for second. If it doesn't, root for third, because it can happen.
I think as well, when people are making comments like this, like we shouldn't be sharing our journey because it's not real, it doesn't always happen like that. We're very aware of that, but what it also felt for me personally, having gone through 4 losses, you don't know somebody's full journey. You can't think that you know everything by watching one video of happiness of us getting pregnant. I was petrified to start this IVF journey, not for having another baby, but for having to go back through emotional trauma that I'd had to go through years worth of, and to then put myself back in that position of feeling vulnerable and possibly going through more losses and having no idea what was going to be the outcome. Would we have a baby at the end of it? Would we just be broke and have no money? So, yeah, I've been on both sides of the scale of being extremely, extremely lucky, and believe me, I know every day just how lucky we've been.
Yeah. When is baby due? Baby currently is due on the 20th of January, but our 12-week scan is on Wednesday, so they'll tell us then, is that right?
Yeah, we'll get our proper date then. A lot of people have asked, will they go on our dates through our IVF dates? Because obviously we know our exact dates to when I should be due, which actually works out the 20th of January, so we're literally bang on time just now. But I think from what we've worked out, it's different for different hospitals. Some will go with your dates from your IVF regardless to how baby's measuring, and some will go through how your baby is measuring. So we'll certainly ask the question on Wednesday and we'll see.
Can I ask what your AMH level is? I can't actually remember.
4.
I think 4. There you go. So my AMH level was 4 and Ab's was
168.
168. So
Which is
that
typical for polycystic ovaries.
Yeah. So we were a mile apart anyways. We'll answer a few more questions and then we'll have to go because we've also got a quick live to do on TikTok. So for those of you who follow us on there, we'll get you over there in about 15 minutes.
What happens if it didn't happen first time? Would you have to pay for a second go, or would it be a bit cheaper? So we would fully have to pay for a second go. We were extremely, extremely lucky. When they done egg retrieval with Cole, they really didn't expect to get many eggs at all, but they got 9, which is my lucky number, and 4 is Cole's lucky number. Out of the 9, 3 of them fertilised into a 5-day blastocyst, 2 grade A's and 1 grade C. So I was implanted with a grade A, which then meant we've got a grade C and a grade A blastocyst in the freezer, which then made our next fresh transfer, or frozen transfer, sorry, cheaper because we didn't have to then go through Cole having egg retrieval
a lot
again,
cheaper.
And medication.
We wouldn't need medication for me, but we wouldn't need to pay for the sperm donor again, and we wouldn't need any treatment on my behalf. So it was going to roughly cost something around 2,500?
Yeah, about the 3,000 mark. But had we not got any to freeze, we'd be looking at the same amount again, minus the sperm. So you're talking 8,500.
We were told before we went for implantation that
We didn't have any.
We didn't have any to freeze, so we got a major shock when we went into implantation and we had 3.
And 2 grade A's and a grade C, which was absolutely amazing.
Unreal.
So yes, Gianna and Kai, they have a dad. They're at their dad's just now. Gianna and Kai, naturally, from a previous relationship, our baby that we are pregnant with just now, nope, our child will not have a dad. It will have 2 mummies.
I can't remember who it was that said the question, but someone was saying I'm answering questions for you. Sorry, it's questions you always get asked. I don't mind that totally.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you
lots.
so much.
It's not letting me see your full question, Laura. Once you have been broken, losing a baby, and try again, you get scared of losing another, and not only of it breaking you. 100%. It is heartbreaking. Any pregnancy gives you anxiety because you know that things can go wrong. You know the chances are higher before your 12 weeks. Put in having suffered losses, and every single toilet wipe is petrifying, and that never goes away, unfortunately. And you know what? I don't think that anxiety ever fully leaves until you've got a screaming baby in your arms. With each scan I've had this time, I'm definitely letting myself get a bit more excited now and trying my hardest not to worry as much, but it's still always at the back of your mind. I know it can happen at any time in pregnancy, birth, so I just pray that all is well, and we've been super lucky.
Is this your first pregnancy, Cole? This is my first pregnancy. I actually feel a little silly, to be honest, because I don't know a lot about it. I've never been around or lived with a pregnant woman, or I literally thought, as silly as this sounds, that you get pregnant and you give birth. Okay, I was proven wrong straight away when the sickness started, and I'm like, well, I thought this was pretty. This was supposed to be pretty exciting. And then I realised how stressful it was to get to each stage. And then Abs had a bleed, and oh my God, the stress levels went up here.
We got bloods, told everything was okay. I then had another bleed 3 days later, and we were like, oh my God, that's it. We then got more bloods, everything was okay. A week later, I had another bleed, and oh my God, it's just been a roller coaster. So poor Cole, for her first pregnancy, my body's put her through the ringer.
Can I send you a wee card and a wee gift from Northern Ireland? Honestly, you don't have to do that, but thank you so much. If you want to send anything, you can send it to our barbershop, Mrs. Howitt's Vintage Barbers.
If you Google it, our address will come up. Pardon me.
Well, one more question. Are you having any symptoms now?
Hot flushes all the time, oh my God. I'm nearly kicking Cole out the bed.
She's grumpy.
Yeah, I'm a lot more hormonal and grumpy than I've ever been, haven't I?
Abs is not a grumpy person at all. Very, very laid back person. It would take a lot to wind her up. I can fart in the bed and
I'm like, do you want to get out?
you've got 10
What are you even
seconds
doing
to
in here?
evacuate this bedroom.
It's horrible. I was never this
I mean,
hormonal with Gianna
I
and
was
Kai.
spooning her the other night. I was cuddled in at the back, just got nice and cosy, and the devil turned round like this, really slowly. Can you turn round and stop breathing on my back?
I'm not joking. Like, you know that feeling? And somebody's like, down the back of your neck. Like, I'm struggling to sleep as it is right now. I don't need Darth Vader breathing down the back of me. That's what it's like.
It wasn't. I'm not even that bad. It's our grumpy levels.
It's not.
Yep.
Well, guys, we're going to love you and leave you, but we just wanted to come on and answer some questions, and we shall see you soon.
Yep. So if you have missed the start and you want to watch the start, it'll be posted on our page really soon, so you can catch up there.
Thank you, Lynette. Our barbershop is called Mrs. Howitt's Vintage Barbers, and you will find our address on Google.
To everybody going through IVF, we wish you all the luck, sending you so much baby dust. We're here for you all. We know exactly how much it's like a roller coaster, but
we will try
you've
our
got
best
stay
to
strong.
share every truthful part of the journey, good and bad. I've done that from the start. Some people think sometimes it's a bit too much information, but pregnancy wouldn't be real if I just shared the good parts, because unfortunately that's not what life is like.
Yeah. Right, guys, gonna love you and leave you. We've got a wee TikTok live to do now, so on the other side.
See you soon.